ML Sports Platter here, brought to you by CH Insurance. They're in your corner every day, every way. Make sure you ask about group benefits and commercial insurance today at chinsurance.cc. We bring him in, my guy, Gerry McNamara, head men's basketball coach for Siena. Gerry, welcome. It's great to see you, man.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
Well, look, it's such a blast to always talk hoops with you. And every assistant coach, as you know, they grind to get to the head coach spot. Everybody wants that. So when you got this post, was it more joy or was it more relief?
That's a great question. Probably a little bit of both. I think right away I was really, really excited about the opportunity that it was here. I've always kind of admired Siena and the program, and really more so than anything, the support that this community gives it. It's a lot like Syracuse in terms of that. You know, that you need a fan base to have a great program, and they do. Um, but pretty much right away, that joy and excitement turns to like it dissolves quickly because of the work. You know, because of what was ahead of me. I needed to basically go out and recruit an entire roster. So very quickly, the excitement and relief of getting your opportunity of something at a, not just an opportunity at a program that I admired, it's such a great job. I feel so blessed to have the opportunity, but the excitement wears quickly because right away you get anxious because you got to put together a roster to go compete.
So you have a lot of balls in the air. I mean, you got a bunch of kids, you got a job, right? You have life, work, and you just moved. How do you do it? How do you do it all? How do you handle everything? Because there are, I think, still 24 hours in a day, right? So how
Yeah.
do you do it all?
My wife, I honest to God, like if my wife Katie, like she's just a rock star in terms of keeping me, she knows my schedule better than me. She was, as a mom, she's just so good with the kids, and she's been so involved with JD and the PTA and being involved in everything at the elementary school. Um, so without her, this wouldn't work. I mean, we're still apart. I've been going down on the weekends. They came up to Albany for Father's Day weekend. So I get home and try to get into lacrosse games and as much as I can for my kids. And I think it's crazy that they go to school as late as they do. It's 95 degrees out and they're still in school. So because they go so late, we haven't fully transitioned as a family here, which is probably the best thing right now because we haven't gotten into the new house yet. That'll be like kind of perfect timing. As soon as they're done a week later, we should be closing on our house and making the move full time. So in the meantime, I've got stud assistants that we've just kind of grinded it out and stayed in the apartment. And now they're off in their own apartments now, and I'm the last one to finally get settled here. So I wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't her. She's just been so great about this whole transition.
Don't forget though, GMAC, they're in school late and it's hot, but we've had snow on Mother's Day in Central New York before too, so you never know how that's going to work, right?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, shoot, it's hard to believe, but when I first interviewed here, we actually had to cancel the first interview because of a snowstorm.
Of course.
So it's hard to believe now how quickly it changed, but it's amazing just how fast it's gone since the interview process to the weather is completely different.
No doubt. Gerry McNamara here, a couple more on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by CH Insurance. So you mentioned your staff. Obviously, I know a couple of those guys, and some of the, obviously boots on the ground, hitting, trying to, portal and NIL and getting a roster together and all that sort of thing. Just kind of give people an update on all that. And I know a lot of Orange fans are pretty pumped up about your staff for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I am. Right away, Ben Lee, who was one of the youngest assistants, I think the youngest Power 5 assistant in the country last year with Hop at Washington, and he and I had developed our own relationship. So when I had the opportunity to get him, I was really excited about that. I trust his ability to recruit, and he knows all the right people in the right circles, and he's just an old school grinder. He loves it. And then sorry, and then to have the opportunity to give guys like Ryan Blackwell and Arenze their shot. Ryan's a really accomplished high school coach. I love his demeanor. He brings a certain calm to him. I knew he'd be a rock star when he got the opportunity to sit in front of recruits, in front of families, and talk to them, because anybody that knows Ryan knows how good of a person he is. So when Ryan and I originally talked, I told him how much I valued the fact that he's a head coach. Like, I don't care what level it is. Like, head coaching experience is important. I wanted that on my staff, and having a guy that I trust in Ryan to be a part of it. And then, just the excitement level for me to give these guys the opportunity, and that's how I look at Arinze, a guy I played with, a guy that was on the first team that I came back to coach as a graduate assistant. And, he's proven that he wants to be in this. He worked 2 years in the G League as a coach, and this past year was with Gonzaga High School, one of the premier high school programs in the country in DC. So to get those guys, and then to bring on Ryan Bury, who was our video guy this past year at Cuse, but he was, before that, 4 years as a student manager, worked really closely with me with the skill development of the guards, did such a good job. We hired him as a GA, did such a good job as a GA. We hired him as our video coordinator. So I've just got really good people in my corner, people I trust, people I want to go to bat with, and people that motivate me to be my best, because I don't want to let them down, because there is a relationship there. And I hope that I motivate them to be their best, because in a lot of ways I gave them an opportunity here. And it's just been, I'm lucky because of the environment, that we come from in Syracuse. But, those are my best friends, the Red and Griff, Brendan Stahl this past year, Hop, we just were so close knit. That was the model that I wanted. And that's the model I got. So I'm feel really blessed to have the staff I do.
So in closing, you brought that up, and it's perfect into the final thing I wanted to ask you about, Gerry, and that is, everybody talks about the word culture in all sports. I think in the NFL, maybe it's a little overused, but it is a thing in all sports. College basketball, certain teams, now we've got all the other stuff with the portal and NIL. We got players changing. We have beliefs. We have coaches in and out. You're at a new place. How do you define culture within Siena? How do you define that? And obviously it's coming off of what you just said as well, with that tight-knit thing, right? So that's a part of what you're trying to develop there?
Yeah. You can't, it's an overused word if you don't practice it. The most important thing is that you practice it. So it's easy to say, but it's really in the actions. And that's the biggest thing. If we're coaching a group of kids, and it's got to come from me, it's got to come from me every day. And I'm not going to change. Anybody that's worked with me knows what I'm about, who I am, and how I treat them. One of the things that I said to every recruit that I had in my office right here where I'm sitting, I said, I'm going to base my entire program on respect and maturity. I am going to look you in the eye, and you're going to look me in the eye. I don't have to raise my voice all the time. We can have a conversation. I'll go up a decibel if I need to, but I prefer not to if we're going to have a relationship based on respect. And that's what I've done. The reality of it is I've coached. We're in week 3. I haven't used a whistle yet. I haven't brought a whistle to practice. And I'm trying to practice what I preached and how I recruited these guys. When I talk, you'll listen. When you talk, I'll listen, and we'll look each other in the eyes. So it starts with that, with the actions of how you go about every day. Hop gave me great advice years ago, and he said, kids spell love one way, Time. You got to spend time with them. You got to pour into them. They have to know you're in it with them. And that's what I've done, so that's the culture that I try to create, one that is still going to be based in a world where it's less and less practiced, skill development. That takes time. That means we're in the gym. My staff is in the gym. So I've just been really lucky that I've got a group of guys that understand what I want from a staff, and that trickles down to our players. And for the most part, right from the start, I've got full buy-in from a group. I've really enjoyed coaching these guys the first few weeks.
By the way, right behind me, actually, I went the wrong way. You'll see the championship banner there for Syracuse 21 years ago. And now here we are. And Gerry McNamara, one of the greatest players in Syracuse basketball history, and a former assistant coach who's grinded like no other, a guy who I respect so much in the basketball world, is now a head coach. So well-deserved. I'm rooting for you. I really am. I hope you do so well there. Siena head men's basketball coach Gerry McNamara, thank you so much for a few minutes. I hope you win every game. Just take it a little easy. I know where you're smiling. You know what I'm going to say? Just take it a little easy on the Bonnies for me, okay? Just a little easy. All right.
Man, I saw Schmitty. I saw him 2 weeks ago at the Coaches vs. Cancer in Rochester, and trust me, Schmitty ain't going easy on me. So I got to be fully prepared for the Bonnies. We've got a great schedule. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I'm lucky with some of the coaches that I can't divulge much of it because it's not public yet, but I've got a lot of friends, you know, people that I respect a lot that I've known for years that I'm going up against this year. So it'll be a fun season.
No doubt. G-Mac, thank you so much, man. Hit him straight and take care. Good luck, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you.